Hey guys, subscribe for daily knife content, and if you're shopping for knives and gear, make sure you check out the description of the video you're watching right now for links to some great online retailers. There's also individual links for knives that I personally recommend. Thanks!
Okay, and then I'll do my intro here, and then we'll cut it, or I'll cut it. So it works. All right. What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and today, oh wait, no, let's redo that. That's my normal. That's my normal review intro. Oh, okay. Here we go. Take two.
God, do I know that feeling?
I wish I had it. It's totally like
it's so negative. Hard not to start meetings with, "Hey, everybody, Nick here. I'm with you."
All right. Here we go.
One more time with feelings.
What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and welcome to episode 90 of the Knife Guy. I think it's episode 90. If you are new to my channel, I am a knife user, knife collector, knife enjoyer, knife guy of many sorts. And today I am joined by famous knife guy, Nick Shabazz. Nick, what's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, everybody, Nick here. I'm doing okay. I don't know that famous quite works. Maybe famous for a very weird definition of famous, right? But yeah, hey, I'm doing okay. Nice to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Nick was kind enough to jump on here with me and just chat for a little bit, and he's got some pretty interesting stuff laid out. I've got a couple of things that I wanted to talk with him about, but yeah, today we're just gonna chat. We're gonna chat about knife stuff. We're gonna chat about maybe some new acquisitions, right? Nick, what I was talking with you about, there's a couple of things that now that I'm realizing, there's a couple of things you have laid out there. I'm like, I'd like to know about that. It looks like you have a titanium Malibu in Damascus.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
This is, this you might have seen on my channel at one point in time at bright blue, but I ended up, the bright blue didn't really go that well with the dark gray blade. And so I ended up having it reblasted, and oh boy. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's nice. I'm a fan.
That is excellent. I really like the the breakup is, of course, is it a pearl inlay on the button?
Yeah, there's a mother of pearl in there.
Oh man, that's beautiful. And there's texturing, the diagonal lines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So me, and I would say pretty much everybody, I'm sure your comment section's filled up with people going, when is the Malibu coming back?
Yeah, ProTech is, to my understanding, working on it, but yeah, they had the downside of releasing a highly in-demand knife exactly at the same time they moved their shop around. So they kind of, and plus COVID, right? They kind of ended up, yeah, they caused a little bit of a problem for themselves there, but not a bad problem to have, I don't think.
Oh yeah, for sure. And but yeah, that variant of it that's probably the coolest variant that I've ever seen. I mean, you've got the kind of monochromatic look throughout, and it's got the is it Damascus?
This is, yeah, it's a I think it's Vegas forged Damascus, although it might actually be Devin Thomas. I think it's Vegas forged though. But yeah, it is a Damascus style stainless steel that is just, yeah, it's nice.
That is beautiful. Yeah.
This was one of the ones that, ProTech sent along at one point in time, and like because I had a Malibu right from them, and they said, hey Nick, we've got another one of these guys with the fancier version. Would you like to check it out? It would be a loader, of course. And I said, yeah, sure, absolutely. If I'm doing the full review. And then they sent it to me, and I get it out of the box, and it was just like, oh, you assholes, how much do I owe you? And it was just like, and I know that I'm lucky to be able to get one, but still, this was before the hype, a lot of it. So it was just like, whoa. Okay, ProTech, you win.
Well, you do that. But see, it's funny that you put it that way. It's like they send you something, and you're like, oh my gosh, you guys are jerks. I'll go and take. But see, when now me and other people, we watch your channel, and a lot of us end up doing the same. I saw you, man. that thing. I brought this up so many times. I said the moment that I saw that on Nick's channel, it was like all of the whatever light was illuminating my surroundings, it went dark, and it was just and the TV screen. I was like, I have to have that. It got real serious. I could hear kind of a weird sort of chanty drum beat in the background, you know.
And what's funny about this one is, so I picked this guy up along with a G10 one, thinking, and I've said this over and over again, but I never think I'm going to like Demko knives. And then I get them and it's like, oh my God, yes. And so I picked up the full tie variant thinking, God, that's really dumb. That's really expensive. Why? But you know what? Hey, I might as well do it. I've got the option to do both, and I'm sure I'll be able to sell one to a patron at the end. And I thought for sure that this was going to be like, okay, wow, that's a thing. Yeah. And then like the day one, I think I messaged Demko and I'd already paid for both of them. So that's slightly different. But I said, this is dumb and I love it. And it was just like, because it's dumb and I love it. There is no reason I need this knife, but I really am glad I have this knife.
Man,
it's amazing.
That is excellent. I got to say, I think I told you this a long time ago. I subscribed to you somewhere around the 16K mark, and watched most. I would say I watched most of your content pretty religiously.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey,
you deserve better than this.
No. I'm very happy that it ended up this way. But the funny thing is that every time I thought I was like, okay, I've got Nick's like taste pegged down. I know, like I would try to guess. I would try to guess before you started reviewing a knife. I'd be like, he's gonna this is what he's gonna say about the pocket clip. This is what he's gonna say about the blade stock. And then knives like the Demko would just be like, what? And it's so funny. It made me realize that people have their own like tastes and they have their own thing that they like to do, but watching like a dark horse of a knife come out of nowhere and just absolutely shatter this preconceived notions of what that person's going to enjoy or what you enjoy is really fun to watch and also really fun to experience. I love that, man. What is that?
Why do I like this? I have the same feeling. Like, what is wrong with me? I love this. This is dumb. I love it. It's like, yeah, I feel you though. And I feel the same way for what it's worth with you and other reviewers too. Like, okay, it's a hinderer. I wonder what MC's going to think about this, right? Who knows? Oh, crystal ball. But then at the same time, I'll see other things and you're like, whoa, like, really? Huh, cool. All right. We're irrational creatures with our own tastes and desires, right? And our tastes are not often rational.
Oh man, but that's the joy of doing this is that I take it seriously to a point and then intentionally leave all of the other space up for just not serious. Because like you realize that if you take it too seriously, you either miss out on stuff or, you intentionally block out things that you might, there's so much out there to enjoy for so many different reasons,
A good example of this actually is this guy here. This is the We Knives Black Void Opus, which is the douchiest name ever given to a pocket knife. No, I'm sorry. There was the Isham Horse Crippler. Sorry, my bad.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. I know, right? I can't just drop that. But this thing is completely blacked out. It's a chisel ground thing with a swedge on the other side. That's not bad centering. That's how it is.
Oh, boy.
This is completely, in many ways, not my style. Like, I look at this and I'm like, wow, that's dumb. But then I actually got one in hand because, man, I was thinking to myself, am I really about to buy one of these? Am I really about to do that? And then I get it. It's like, oh, this is actually pretty good. This is weird, but I kind of like it. I don't know that it's going to stick around for me, but it's, you're right. You got to challenge those things. You got to keep your mind open, so to speak, and, try some stuff that's not usually your style because sometimes it'll end up like, yeah, I agree. That was dumb. Like the Shabazz, like I didn't think that was going to be my style. Turns out it was not. Hey, we win. But then sometimes it's like, why do I like this? Oh my God, this is a new favorite. So,
man. Yeah. That looks like a tactical horse pill. Like it's
Now, is that a pill for a tactical horse or a horse pill that's tactical? I don't know.
It works multiple ways. That is bizarre. The grind, man, the chisel grind thing. I get the idea behind the chisel grind, but my God, does just looking at that, knowing that it can never be what we want centered to look like, it can never be. It's something that if I owned that, it would take me 20 extra minutes to go to sleep every night, knowing that it existed in that.
Just imagine doing the disassembly, right? And I put it back together, and my first instinct is, whoa, I that up. And then it's like, oh, wait, no, never mind. That means I'm right.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
It's definitely, it requires you to adjust your cognition a little bit, right? Yeah. As opposed to some other things that maybe don't require so much adjustment.
Oh, man. Now, I do love that. I'm getting stuck on this one thing because it's fun. Like you know all too well things coming in and seeing like trends in the knife world, and you see the same stuff again and again and again, and then here and there you see a slight variation that's that's kind of neat, that's kind of different, right?
Yep.
And then more the same, and every now and then some sort of octopus unicorn comes along and just blows your world apart, and it's totally not in the realm of what you have enjoyed traditionally, and it's so much fun to just get excited about, even if it doesn't make sense day to day.
Oh yeah.
I got no place for the 80-20 in my life.
Oh,
but I love it.
Here's another nice example. This is the Winter Blade Co. Factor. This is, I'm going to send you one of these guys after it's done with Rye, Everyday City Carry, because this is a magnetically driven frame lock. It has a magnet right here that attaches itself to the blade. The detent on the blade is entirely magnetic. It's got a flipping lever, so you press that in. It is the weirdest. Like the maker of this sent me a video way back when, before he sent me the first one of these to check out. Not even like he said, don't review this. I have too many people wanting them already. I just want you to see it. Because he's a big fan. And then he sent me this, and I'm watching this video. I'm like, oh, that's dumb. Oh, this is going to be, oh my God, what is wrong with you as a human? Why are you this way? Who hurt you? And then I get it in the hand, and it's just like, this is the dumbest, amazing thing I've ever seen. I want one. And so then I ordered a full custom version of it and whatnot, which is this here. And it was just like, it's so off the beaten path. It's so freaking weird. But it's nice to see that. It's nice to be shocked once in a while in a market that's just like same.
Yep.
Right?
Man, so I'm really glad that Zoom does this thing where when you're talking, the screen is only on you, because I did this without even realizing it. When you put that in front of the screen, I got so close to my camera. Had the screen switched, they wouldn't have seen my eyeball. I was way too close to my.
What the hell is that? Yeah, it's a weird one.
Oh my gosh! Watching you, can you flip that?
Yeah, sure. Can you snap it?
Oh, that is really cool.
You can also do the finger flick with it. It's just a little less reliable under a camera.
Sure,
but yeah.
Man, that is super cool. Weird. The way that's deployed is, I think I remember you making mention of something that you had that was working with magnets, and I thought, that's interesting. And here it is taking form. That is definitely the weirdest thing I've seen to date, and it's very interesting.
It really is. This guy, you follow his Instagram, and it's just like, what are you on? And keep on it, please. I really appreciate the work, just because, and he's got apparently. I think one of his goals is to make more of them and make them more available, and that's a joy, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to be glad to see this, just as not like this is everybody's perfect everyday carry knife choice, but at the same time, it's like a piece of science fiction or something like that. So hey, why not, right?
Definitely. I mean, makers can go all over the place with weird aesthetics, but we definitely have enough frame locks.
Yes, we're good. Thank you.
flippers. And would you call that a frame lock? What would you call that?
Yes, it is. But the thing is, like, the thing that locks into the blade is this nub in here, which is rotatable to adjust for blade play. And so what happens is that as it's opening, the frame lock wedges itself open using this ramp and then locks back into place down both by frame tension and by this magnet pulling it home.
Oh,
and then
my
it's
God.
completely... Again, he's explaining this in a video he sent me, and it's just like, that. No, okay, dumb, that ain't gonna work. And then it's like, oh my God, it works. Yeah. And then he's got himself a little rubber spacer here to keep things from the opposite of a conventional frame lock. Worried about it going too far is too near, right? Just so weird.
It is, but the way that you're deploying it too. That's the thing. The aesthetics can go all over the place, but when I see weird, like unconventional locking systems or weird means of deployment, but it looks so natural. Like it looks like that's so easy to do what you're doing with your index finger. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. It's weird, but it's good. I love it.
that is really, really, that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited. I see it on your channel and I'm like, well, that's the thing that I need to look at now, so that's cool, man. Speaking of weird, that bug out, and I know the gentleman, that's, tell me let's plug his Instagram. What's his
Colorful
Instagram?
Filth.
That's right. He's a really nice guy.
He is.
That is wild.
It is, yeah. Again, this was another one of those things where I we'd originally shown like a picture. It's like, oh, really cool design, but how is it going to be done well? And no, it really is. It's like Cerakote with titanium anodizing for the rest of the details. It's actually remarkably well done. Like, this could be terrible if it was done gas station wise, but this is a collaboration, I think, with Northern Knives, who is in Alaska, as one might imagine, being north. It's really kind of cool. Both because I love the design and the pattern, and it's also a pair of titanium scales for what it's worth. Like,
wow, okay, so I didn't know that was titanium.
This is a set of Flytanium bug out scales.
Oh my God.
And hold on, I charge this off camera. The back spacer is also glow in the dark.
Okay.
It's not the strongest, but it's a whole affair.
Yeah, dude, that's wild. And then, so what they have the space or the sort of the galaxy, the star pattern theme going on everywhere. And how do they? Is it a Cerakote?
It's Cerakote that's been like spattered on there.
That is really, you know what? Honestly, I think it would be cool if we saw more stuff like that. Weird.
I do too. Yeah.
I think it would be interesting to have patterns and things like that. I think it's weird if we don't see more Cerakote, because it allows you to, like, you can get orange and red hardware, which is not something that you see on titanium hardware, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
That would be really cool. Well, that is definitely a wild one. And then you have, this is where I was telling Nick before we started, I said, I'm gonna use you to learn. We both have knives from Terrain 365, and actually you probably have the Invictus as well, but what's the little guy here?
This is the Otter.
Okay.
Like the little river dude.
Oh, okay. And it's using the dendritic, it's using Teravantium. That's what's
it is the Teravantium, and then I've got over here the full-on Invictus as well. But,
yeah. So this is really intimidating to me. As much as I've tried to make use of, like Laren Thomas is a godsend. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend for a second that I understand everything, everything there is to know. I mean, I can't. But you do a great job of explaining a lot of this stuff when you do review. I don't know. Maybe I kind of want to put you. I don't want to put you on the spot, but I kind of do. What makes this? It's not steel, right? This is cobalt, or it's a cobalt base, or what exactly?
Sure, throw me under the bus with this metallurgist in the YouTube comments. I see how it is, MC. Bring me on the channel and then yeet right under the bus. Okay, thanks. So as near as I can tell, it's a dendritic cobalt sort of thing. It's not steel. It's not magnetic. In fact, that's the weird thing about this whole thing. Oh, on this guy, the Otter, the pivot is magnetic, but the blade isn't, unlike roughly everything else. But it is. My understanding is that there were some big old hard carbides that are suspended in a matrix of some kind of cobalt or another, and as a result, it's really weird, right? Like it feels dull very quickly, but it cuts forever. Not like forever ever, but it's a very strange alloy, and it's got some advantages. It's not the hardest thing ever. It's not, but it's very, very bizarre stuff. Is kind of my read on it. After carrying this around for a while, it's just like, how does this feel really dull and cut really well at the same time? What's wrong with me? Like,
that's funny. That is interesting though, because we have that thing that we do where you after you've been cutting for a while, then you drag your fingernail across it. You kind of do that thing where you take your thumb and pull away to feel the bitiness. But the one that I have has been used, and you know what? I assumed that it felt like that because it had been used. I was like, oh, this has clearly been used. But maybe this is how the edge is supposed to be.
It loses that super keen, like fetish stick edge very quickly. But then if you take that outside and go at some cardboard, you're going to be like, wait, hold on, this is really sharp. And it's going to be weird. It's like, I feel broken as a human reviewing and using this piece, right? Like I'm broken as a human. This isn't news, but I'm broken extra on this guy because it's just like, this doesn't function like I expect knife to function. It works. It's good, but it does not compute crash, right? Blue screen of freaking death over here.
That's cool though. I mean, like I now know probably 1,000% more about it than I did before you said that because I just didn't understand.
And I don't know a damn thing about it. So that's the joy of starting at zero, right? Everything's an infinite gain.
Well, it can't corrode.
No,
so it can't corrode, and like edge retention. I'm sure that's really difficult to measure, but is it tough? Is it very tough, or is it not tough?
It bends a little bit more. Like I wouldn't be using this to hammer through wires and dumb stuff like that, right? It's a very toothy edge. Like it seems really well suited to like rope and cardboard and things like that. Okay. It's not so much like a 3V, I'm going to chop it through a log and then the car that's underneath the log kind of steel, at least in my estimation.
Okay.
It ends up feeling very soft, but in practice, it has a lot more cutting power. It's like we have this thing of like edge retention and cutting power as being the same thing, but this kind of shows me that they're not. Right? It's bizarre. It's weird stuff. And it's been around actually for a while, right? The dendritic cobalt stuff has been around and used by David Boy, I think had some, and a couple of other folks, but it's not super common. And I think these are the only ones in the mainstream now that are just like, you can buy it at a store in it. And, to be honest with you, like I've got the Quiet Carry Waypoint right next to it, which I think is a really nice point of comparison, right? Have you had one of these?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Good knife, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and I don't know that I would choose, because Vanax is also basically not going to rust. I don't know that I would choose the Teravantium over just Vanax or something like that. But, the downside, of course, is that Vanax is quite magnetic versus the Teravantium. So if you're like, I don't know, work at a magnet store or something, this could be that someone must, right? Okay. I'm just saying. You get magnets from somewhere. There's a magnet store out there.
That's funny. I like, I don't have a huge issue with corrosion here, but I do like I've got a Maximum Para 3 that I carry all the time, and it definitely has patina on it. It definitely does. But I'm always wiping it off when I use it. If I'm, like the other day, I cut into some cardboard that was sitting in. It was a puddle from the snow melting outside of the garage, and I cut, and I was like, oh, I got to remember to wipe that down. And I did, because I know, like, even though it's not a huge problem here, it's still good practice to wipe that up. So these steels that can't corrode, that can't rust, are really, really interesting, because it's like a whole layer of something that you don't have to worry about at all. But between these, There's LC200N, which is apparently is chronometer 30, right?
Yep. It's
Okay.
Z finite is the other term for it.
Okay.
With some LC200N.
Okay. And then there's VanX Super Cleaner VanX 37. VanX.
Yep.
VanX 37 seems like the next greatest thing, and I don't know why I think that, but I'm just. It's
good. I mean, it's really good, at least in my estimation. It's kind of like, LC200N is a great steel. Honestly, I would be happy to see that become a baseline steel for a lot of products. It's like H1. Did you ever use a knife in H1?
It's just like a blade made out of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it goes dull so quickly.
And the thing is, this stuff feels like H1 for a moment, and then you realize it's still cutting somehow, right? Oh. It's so weird. But anyways, LC200N feels like a good blade steel, right? It's not VanX. It's not, super high-end M390 at 8 million HRC or whatever. It's good enough for everybody, but it's completely rust-proof. VanX feels like it's a step up. It's like, if LC200N is your 154 CM or your CPM 154, this is your M390 to me.
Okay.
In the rust-free world. So I like it a lot. It's solid, but no one's freaking using it for whatever reason.
I was just about to ask you what the comparison would be, and so that actually clears that up really
That's
well.
Not chemical. In no way am I talking chemistry here. I'm just saying in terms of perceptual, like this will go dull a little faster than this will, but they're both good to go. And H1 is a flaming pile of garbage and mashed potatoes. Right? So,
sounds awful.
Yeah. And like the Teravantium is like, it's someplace in the range with the LC200N in terms of cutting, but it's like, I can see that this was like, oh my God, next to H1. But now that we got more, high end stuff, like next to H1, freaking VG10 is, oh my God. So.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great way to put that. It's funny because every time I see VG10, I'm like, ho hum, it's not.
Yeah.
It's like, would I be bummed if that's the only thing I had on me? Well, no, but like, I'd be happy. But if I had to carry around a pocket knife in H1, I'd be like, why don't I just carry a wad of silly putty around with me and try to cut stuff with that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of weird stuff. Yeah. Here's something super weird that you sent me.
Live On has left the chat. Sorry, that's a Knife Nuts podcast reference.
I saw you unbox this, and so like what drew me to it was, okay, obviously I can tell where my hands are supposed to go. It looks like there's pretty good ergonomic lines. It's really weird. It looks like it's a $50 to $60 knife, maximum. And then I see, the blade steel or the blade material. Now it's tungsten carbide. And so I thought, okay, there's the weird factor. But then I looked at the freaking price.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Here's an example of something. Whenever I think like, I'm getting pretty good at this, this knife instinct thing. I'm pretty refined in my ability to pick something up and I can sense this or that, or it's using this material, and so this has got to be this. Not even close. I reminded myself, no, you're just an idiot who likes knives, and you're wrong quite a bit.
I would like to highlight that in a situation where you are standing next to somebody and you think they're crazy, you might be crazy, or they might. Right? I wouldn't put this one on you. I feel like that is not a knife that, given what's going on, anybody would have given that price tag to. Excepting, of course, Sandrine, who very decidedly did give it that price tag. But, that one doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, the tungsten carbide's great. I can see why it's pricey, but I think the issue isn't so much the price tag that they gave it as what they did with that $200. Like at that point, just no, and especially given that this is a knife by them too, and this was $300.
Oh my God!
There is a world apart here. It's a whole other world. So I don't know. I just don't see it. But anyways, my understanding is that they are planning some additional runs for people who have a different perspective on what kind of attractiveness might look like in the world. We'll put it that way.
Well, that I feel like that would be a good move because seriously, this I describe, and like it's nothing against the people. I'm not like, I always feel sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, that really sounded like I was going after their, like what they think looks good is dumb, and I'm the only one who can be smart. And I try to catch myself, but I seriously, this looks like something you'd find in a jar at the checkout counter at Home Depot. You know?
So, oh yeah, I'm sorry, I've got tea up my nose after that. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. The thing is, though, like, I remember, like, I posted my video of that, and I said basically something similar, like, dude, really? And like half the commenters are like, I dig it. That's 100. I love that aesthetic, and it's like,
what?
I know, right? I'm like, what's the world is different than I thought it is. Like, there are a lot of Milwaukee Fastback fans out there in the world, right? I just, I don't see it, but I got to remind myself that I am one human, right? And I don't see a hell of a lot. So maybe they are very, very shrewd and identified precisely that part of the Venn diagram of knife people that you and I are not in, and I mean, just went for it, right?
You know, it's funny because it's like, what would I try to think, like, what would I do if I was like, this is obviously terrible, and who could ever possibly, who could ever, and then literally everybody else in the world was like, dude, you're dumb, that looks great. I would sit down and go, who am I? But like, am I, everything that I've done and thought so far has been, has been syncing up with a large group of people. But if all of a sudden, everybody was like, no, I would be like, well, I guess I lost it. I guess I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
But maybe, I mean, okay, everybody has a different aesthetic taste, and maybe there's just something here that I just don't see. It doesn't take on the form of something that would cost $200.
I love how carefully you put that. It doesn't take on the form of something. Oh, MC, I'm glad I did this.
People are like, there's a guy who's like fully reclined, and he's been kind of on the teetering point with your dialogue so far, but then you push him over the line with something, he sits up, and he gets it, and he types out a big long ink. People get mad sometimes, if it's not delivered correctly, if it's
I'm with you. It's brilliant, but it's like this person YouTubes. Like, I hear it and it's like, oh yeah, I know this guy. I've thought those words.
Man. Well,
yep.
It is weird, and that's something that I want to make sure and talk. It's got two bevels before there's the flat, and then there's a bevel, and then there's another bevel, right? That's the cutting edge. And okay, I can feel that pushing this into getting it close to a piece of paper would shred the fibers of it,
Yeah. And it's a super thin blade, which makes it a little easier to go that route, right? But
yeah,
oof. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm looking forward to the next version of the Torino. Let's put it that way. But like, the lock is great.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot to like about it. Functionally, it's awesome. It's just like, then you look at it and you're like,
Yeah. It does. It functions well, but the placement, it's like, on the 80-20, the placement of that lock, the fact that it's ambidextrous, it's such a natural feeling, like it's always been with us. We just didn't know it was there,
The 80-20 has been inside us all along, MC. It never left you. That point where we look back and we saw one set of footprints, that was the 80-20 carrying you.
Oh my gosh. I might buy my 80-20 a Valentine's Day gift.
I'm wondering whether that's like, do your hinderers feel a little cheated on? I gotta ask.
I had a conversation with like, I was filming something and I was talking about the 80-20, and in one moment I forgot that I was recording for an audience, and I felt like I was apologizing to my hinderers. I was like, guys, I love you and I'm always gonna love you, but there comes a day
Okay, remember that whole conversation we were just having about maybe you're not crazy?
Yeah.
Let's not so fast.
Oh God. Oh no, it's happening. I'm losing it.
Yeah, well, welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome to the club. None of us are immune.
I'm so glad that it seems like the same club that you join when you become crazy is also the therapy. Oh, what horrible irony.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We're all crazy together, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, what a horrible
I'll tell you
paradox.
one that gave me that was this. The titanium cricket home front. This knife is amazing and like dumb and amazing, right? I don't like that I like this knife as much as I do. I feel vaguely badly about that. It's just like, and it's top of the, top drawer knife collection, like alongside, tucked in between the 80-20 and the freaking the Alliance mini Slim Pickens, like cricket. And it's just like, it's amazing, but it's another one of those where it's just like, how is this good? And like they made 10 of them, so no one knows that, but it's like,
Yeah.
but I have that same strong feeling of just like, what? I'm not allowed to like this. It's got the Teflon field strip. What? No, bad, Nick, bad. But here I am, and it's designed like a freaking GI knife from the 1940s or something like that. And here we are. It's a thing. I don't get it.
It's so funny because I looked at that and I remember the first time that I had somebody send me I had somebody give me one and I did a giveaway.
Okay, nice.
But I remember seeing it pop up on your channel and I thought the thumbnail came up and I was like, that's not a knife he's gonna like.
Nope.
And then I watched and I was like, oh my gosh, he does like it, but it does that knife has a very, it looks like it comes with its own very specific persona,
Yeah, it does. That's another nice way to put it, right? It has its own very specific persona. Yep, that's for sure.
Oh man,
I
can hear the Brad Paisley, music in the background.
His girlfriend just broke up with him, and his truck's having some trouble lately too.
Oh my God!
At least he's got his dog, right?
You go outside in Kansas, and that's just what the air sounds like. It's just background music all the time. But so I just always am assuming, that I'm going to see like people walking around with exactly that knife. No, but that's fun.
I like it.
That's what it looks like, but it just proves to you when I hear people say, I would never buy this or I would never go for that or it's not my cup of tea. I'm like, a slight variation on exactly this, if it has just enough elements, it'll appeal to you in such a powerful way that you're just like, I have to have it,
never just makes me feel like an asshat when I say those words. It's just like, no, absolutely not. Like I was so close, but no. Yeah,
I have said that about the Opinel. I've been very aggressive towards the Opinel. I've said I will never. I've actually held it silently in a room by myself and held it close and said I will never love you. It's that intense. But you know what? Maybe there will come a day of a variant of Opinel, and I'll be proven wrong. And you know what? I'll welcome that day. Because
he says with gusto, I will welcome that day. I am going to someday look forward to listening to this podcast with a nice warm cup of tea as I watch your video in the background ranting about the titanium frame lock Opinel that comes out someday. I don't freaking know. I need to make Hinderer do an Opinel collab. That's what would do it.
That's what my brain's gonna explode. That's like asking if a robot to divide by zero. My brain would explode. I wouldn't know what to do. But
the Hinderer FR18 with tri-way wooden washes.
I would just be like, why? Why does this? Why? Who did this? And you're sitting on your couch rubbing your hands together, laughing.
Exactly. Hey, Rick, what would it take to make a production run of like 5, just enough to troll MC? Like, and we got to talk about some review samples because I know where one of them's going, right?
My nightmare, because I joke all the time that Rick Hinder doesn't know that I exist, and he actually, I'm actually not sure, and I'm always like, I love Rick Hinder knives, and if he doesn't know that I exist, that's still okay because I'm happy to promote his, and I am. That's the truth.
Yeah. Okay, Sam.
Nightmare is that you and Rick, you talked to Rick about making very specifically an Opinel Hinder collab, and that's his first interaction with me. I'm proud to
You're the guy who wanted the Opinel collab. Yes.
That's how
I'm in it for the long game. For what it's worth, Rick Hinder didn't know that I existed either, for what it's worth. Like I met him at the California Custom Knife Show like 2 years ago or something like that, and I went up, hi, hey Rick, I'm a really big fan. I post on the YouTube on the Nick Shabazz. He says, like, okay, cool, nice to, like, with all the enthusiasm of like, hi, and it was just like, and by the way, he was very nice, and we had a very nice conversation, and there was no problem. But it was absolutely clear to me that he gave absolutely no shits. Like, if he knew who I was, he had the best poker face ever, and really wanted to make sure I wasn't too high on my own supply.
Oh,
anyways.
God, that's
but
funny.
it was one of those moments where it's like, because you said famous at the start of this, like, nope, like, not at all. Like, I'm not the kind of famous where I can go like, do you know who you're talking to? Like, no, that ain't me.
Oh, that's so fun. I mean, like, but that's a totally reasonable. I mean, here's the thing. It's totally reasonable that you would present it that way and say, I'm Nick Shabazz from the YouTube knife world, because you can't set foot in the YouTube knife world, right? People are going to be like, oh my God, he is such a kiss ass. You can't set foot in the YouTube knife world without finding a Nick Shabazz video or hearing Nick Shabazz. It's like,
save it for Rick, buddy. Save it for Rick.
Right. When you step into the knife world, people hand you an Ontario Rat Model 2, a Spyderco PM2, and they say, go watch Nick Shabazz. That's essentially the starter pack for the knife, But
to be fair, the PM2 was a starter pack long before I got here, right? This was a great knife way before. But still, I mean, thank you for the kind words. But the thing is, I get the impression that Rick Hinder has never set foot in the YouTube knife world. I don't know that he's set foot in the YouTube any world. But
I don't think you can tell he gets on, and he's involved with the collectors group on Facebook, and periodically he'll like a random post on Instagram, and I always get real, Hinder acknowledged something, and you don't know if it's Rick or if it's just
notice me, senpai. Yeah. Yeah.
But I always get excited. But yeah, he's not. This isn't his. It's not where he wants to be, it seems like.
Who can blame him, frankly? But I mean, if I'm famous in this, I wouldn't want to be a damn part of it either.
No, 100%. I agree with you. It's more fun to just do he's doing what he like. His passion is not social media. His passion is making knives, obviously.
Yeah. So. No, and I want to be very clear. I have all the respect in the world for Rick, and the fact that I don't own any Hinders right now is simply because I can't find a flipperless XM18 3-inch in stock anywhere. But because that was a moment, my buddy Nathan loaned me a flipperless 3-inch, and it was like, hey, buddy, what does this knife have to come home? He's like, yes. I'm like, okay, fair enough. Hey, how much do you trust the Postal Service?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That is the only version of the 3-inch that I will. Well, here I am making promises. It's the only version of the 3-inch that I'm interested in, because it has the choil, and it makes more sense to not have the flipper there on such a smaller knife. But I want them to do, how they did the skinny 3-inch and it was a liner lock. And it was kind of a goofball. Yeah. I want that, but without a flipper tab, and I still want it to be a traditional XM18 and not some odd variant. I actually like the idea of a liner lock XM, and I don't know if you've ever seen this. You might find it interesting. You go to the Hinder Knives website and check out the Past Knives gallery, and there's some wild stuff in there, some weird early prototypes and custom knives that never became, never came to production line.
Yeah.
He did some bolster lock XM18s, liner lock XM8. You've probably been there then. And I was like, oh my God,
that's a thing. Yeah.
That would be wonderful, but I mean, it's just me. Like,
I know what you're saying, though. It'd be really nice. And if they could do like the wood handles on it, and like a carbon steel blade, and then maybe they could throw on like a weird lock, like a ring lock or something like that. And then suddenly, just saying, you want it. You want it.
Like, okay, Nick's going somewhere with this. Slowly, man. A ring lock. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that sounds great. What a great idea. God.
You've had a full track, right?
Oh yes. Yes, I have.
Do you own one now or no?
I don't own one, and now I'm kicking myself. Because I just assumed like this is going to be around for the long haul because the tool thing is a good idea.
They discoed that?
Do what?
They discontinued it?
Well, so this is a rumor to everybody who's watching. This is none of this is factual. This is literally just what I've heard from tumbleweeds in the wind. Is the full track is in its current form is not going to continue as a full titanium frame lock with the inlays. But if they do another version of it, that it will take on a less expensive form.
Okay, that wouldn't hurt.
That is because it's a $600 knife. They already have the XM24. It's like I don't know. I mean, I can't pretend to understand what they're doing, but I guess making a less expensive version of that. The whole putting the tool in the backspacer thing, I actually really like that. How often I'd use it, I don't know, but I think it's really cool. I like it.
Oh, absolutely. It is a nice idea, very much. And I think, honestly, I was a little disappointed they didn't do it with the half track. Right? That seemed like a little bit of a weird missed opportunity, but I get they were space constrained and whatnot.
Sure.
Yeah. I did like the half track. It's a neat little piece.
The half track is definitely cool. I was tempted to buy a full tie one. We're getting on. I just realized you said hinderer, and I've been
now you're in full on like, ooh. Sorry, I used your magic word. It's like the Winter Soldier, right? I'm reading out 15 things in Russian as long as it ends with hinderer. Suddenly you're like, I must obey.
That's how you activate.
Exactly.
I got activated, and I became a YouTuber, and I've been activated. I've been waiting to be shut back off for a while.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That happens to a lot of us. Did you have something you wanted to talk about aside from open L's?
I was trying to think here if there was something else that I had. Oh yeah, dude, let's show off your skiff real quick.
Yeah.
So I went nuts for the one that I had, but this is a different one. What is the model here?
This is the Drifter. And as a resident of Southern California, I am not unfamiliar with drifters, but this is my favorite one so far. Right? This is a really nice freaking knife. And it's kind of one of those that like day one, like the design of it doesn't super speak to me. Like just looking at it on paper, it's not like, but then you get it in a hand and you're just like, oh my God, like, holy crap, they did this so well. Just the execution is so amazing on it. I have a whole video. This is a whole new genre video of just like me going, holy crap, they polished a little bit above the lock face. What the heck? And so it's a knife that's really impressive in its execution. Just like nothing left behind, no expense spared. Well, actually expenses spared, but no like, oh my God, they should have done it. No, it's just like they nailed it for what it is. They nailed it. So it's really nice.
Yeah,
it's
that's
a good little piece.
I really like the blade shape on that. It's funny because Levin. I keep wanting to say Levon. I'm such an idiot.
Is it Levin?
You know what's funny? I think it's Levin. I was saying Levon, and he didn't correct me. And then I heard the other guys on the Knife Nuts podcast say Levin, and so then I'm like,
saying his name wrong for years. This is great.
But then you're like, oh crap! And so out of respect, I'm like, I gotta fix that. You gotta start I got to say his name right, and but I got to be honest with you. Now I'm not 100% sure.
Well, I tell you what, let's just keep switching variants around, right? Next time he can be Lavone, then Levin, and then we can just kind of keep cycling through, and eventually we'll get a sense of maybe where he lands, like where he,
Leaving.
leaving. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm leaving. Are you? And then he'll look at me like, what do you mean? And I'm like, nope, that's not it. I'll scratch that one off the list.
Oh my God. Well, he said.
So he was saying Leave Owen did what now?
He sent me, or he said, "Do you want to look at this?" And he didn't say it's good. He just said, "Do you want to look at this?" And I looked at it and I was like, "That's obviously, well, what I assume a custom knife." And I said, "Okay, sure." And he's told me what it was, and then said nothing else, which is him not wanting to give me any sort of foundation for anything. And I saw it and I was like, okay, well, it's shiny and it's a knife and it looks nice, but it's not anything, And then
that's what it says on the website. It's shiny. It looks like a knife. Yeah, right at the top there.
That's all. That's the criteria for this channel. Shiny. So I get it, and I'm like, oh no, this is much, much more than I thought. So then I hit him with a barrage of questions, and I was like, dude, this is some serious next level niceness. I mean, it's very polished. It's very, it's crispy. It's, really, really well done chicken finger crispy. It's good.
Killing me.
But that was my experience with it. So I really enjoyed it, and it's cool. Have you already have the video up on that one?
Yeah, I've got my little preview video just talking about what's going on with it, but that's all I've got. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that one then. But I told you 30 minutes, and I have a feeling we went way.
Yeah, we're in an hour now, but I'm good. This has been entertaining. Aside from the whole tea out the nose thing, it's been pretty good, right?
Well, I keep thinking, I'm like, is he laughing or is he having a tea issue? I don't.
No, I've gone ahead and I've moved the tea away from me on the desk, so I'm not even tempted.
It's just, you just automatically are reaching for it. You just have
like dehydration is just setting in here. I'm like, my tea addiction is coming around full, but it's better than having it out the nose and onto the skiff, right?
I would cut that out, but I wouldn't want to.
I've already got a nice coating of brambleberry black all over the freaking carbonates at this point up in there. So I'm, it's.
Oh my gosh. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to bring up or ask you about, or if I had anything else that was super duper weird that would be fun. Oh, I did receive a prototype from.
Okay.
This is just interesting. This is from Alien Knives, or I guess it's Davo Bladeworks.
Davo.
He said he's got this run of environmentally friendly knives, and he said, I have some. He said, if you want, I can make you one out of. It's like a coffee composite.
What?
Yeah. So this is the handle scales are coffee composite, and I got to be honest with you, the blade is definitely steel, but the finish makes me think that he said the entire thing. I guess the process for this coming to life is environmentally friendly. So
that's
very totally environmentally friendly. So this is this is very different. I told him, I said, yeah, I'd love to look at it. I've never heard of anything like that before. So
that's a weird intersection, right? Like you're getting the drum circle crowd and the knife crowd don't often have that much overlap, but then you're getting it. I'm here for it, right? That's great. Let's think about these issues. But wow,
sure, and it has this
coffee Damascus
little backlog thing that's up here, and it's a prototype. He told me, he said, "There's kinks to work out,"
but with your coffee Damascus.
It's called
Tell me, are the blades sized in like what is it? Tall, grande, and venti?
Yeah.
Like I'd like a venti coffee Damascus, please.
Oh yeah, and you could get a skinny. You get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A double shot with means more spring on the auto version. Oh, I'm liking this.
Yeah. But I told him I was like, that's just so different that I do want to look at it. And
I'm in.
And it's got, I mean, it's bizarre looking, but it's got really the ergonomic lines are good. And like I said, prototype, so there's a couple of little things, but it's just it was so bizarre. It's called the MX4, by the way, and I told him I'd talk with him more about it. But yeah, coffee composite, and he does another. There's another composite he'll do. I forget what it is. It's not. I wanted to say mulch. It's probably not.
Does it smell like coffee?
No, that's the first thing I did.
Okay, I got right. I mean,
no. But
no,
that damn. A nice touch. Wouldn't that have been a nice touch?
That would be nice. Yeah, like wake up and smell the knife in your pocket. Like you're having a rough time at work and you can't get out of the meeting. Just like take out your knife and I'm almost there.
That's not
that
a good
would not
look.
go over well in a meeting.
Even though there's nothing going on with that, that's never a good look. To be inhaling like really close to it.
Yeah, and especially if you say it's almost done, then you're gonna. That's a good way to see HR right there. Like
it's almost. Hey, we got an issue with that knife guy again. I guess he's smelling them now. I don't know. I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly. The HR rep at my work just woke up in a cold sweat. Like, wait, what was said? Something happened. The great disturbance in the force.
Oh man, Nick, I can't. My face hurts, dude. My face. Great. I'm actually at the point now where my face hurts because I've been laughing so much. Do you have anything else you wanted to talk about or share or show off?
No, honestly, I'm just here to have a good time, and boy, you provided. Aside from showing off this absolutely gorgeous piece of hardware right here. God, this nice kind of yellowish orange wood would really look nice on an XM18, don't you think? I mean, come on. I feel like carbon steel. That's where it's at, my friend. Just planting that seed.
This hypothetical thing is it's actually you formed a monster in my subconscious that I now. And it's at the point now where it almost has a voice, and I know it's going to start talking to me.
Exactly. My goal is that tonight you're going to wake up in a cold sweat and just be like, oh, my God. It's going to be like one of those awkward dreams that's a little more intimate than you expected with somebody who you didn't think you had those kinds of thoughts about. Like you're going to wake up and your wife's going to be like, why were you saying Hinderer Opinel over and over again in your dream interspersed with moaning? And you're going to be like, no reason. Shut up.
The level of detail, you've made it. You've made it real now. It wasn't real until you.
Yep, congratulations. I planted a mind bomb.
I'm actually, I'm gonna have to throw this away. That's the only way I'm gonna have to throw it away.
Yeah, okay, sure thing. That's like burning your ex's pictures, right? Like, yeah, it's not gonna make you feel any better, but it might make you feel any better, right?
Well, what would be terrifying? Here's the thing. I'm afraid if I throw it away, it'll be like one of those horror movies where I come back in and it's on the coffee table.
Yeah, it's just like sitting in the middle of your, like on your pillow. Like you thought you could get rid of me, but you can't. And then you go to put it away and disengage the ring lock and it won't disengage. Like it's just there. Carry me, MC, carry me.
We're going to turn this into like, this is now like, it was already kind of a minor joke.
Yeah, it's now a me.
That's for sure. A permanent joke. So thank you.
Congratulations. You're now attached to the Opinel. Oh yeah.
God. Oh, bless America. Well, Nick,
I'm so sorry.
This is I think, and I've had a lot of fun talking with a lot of people. I'm a pretty positive person. I like to talk with people, but Yeah, this was a blast, dude.
This was absolutely.
I really hope that you want to do this again because
I'm in.
I would love to. This was fun.
Next time, though, I'm not going to bring tea. I'll bring Diet Mountain Dew, so it hurts a little bit more.
No tea and no open O's. You bring Diet Mountain Dew and Hinderers. That's
okay. I'll make sure and I'll pick one up. I do need to get a fire tax. So
there you go.
Here's my excuse. All right. Hey,
All right,
have
man.
a great day.
Hey, yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of The Knife Guy. If you did, of course, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like, so check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, go ahead and click on that Metal Complex logo right here somewhere and subscribe because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.